Welcome to Fostoke Channel!
The Puppy and the Bird Collective. There was a family of dogs that lived in a large yard. Although the mother was white, she had 4 puppies of different colors that spent their time playing together. In order to keep them safe, their mother would teach them how to be aware of their surroundings and how to distinguish between friend and foe. Every day, the mother would say to them, "You have to play side by side until you're old enough, and then you can go far away and rely on yourselves. For now, you need to be patient and listen to my advice so that you don't get yourself in any trouble, and so I don't lose any of you."
Mom, am I going to be strong like you someday?
Said Brownie, the brown puppy. "You can be even better if you learn from your surroundings and the experience of others," replied the mother, smiling.
I'll be like the ones in the sky! How could they stay up there, Mom? I want to be like them,
said Spotty, the white puppy with the black spots. His brothers started laughing at what he said, but the mother told them in a serious tone, "Don't laugh. He has a good question. My son, those in the sky are called birds, and we'll never be like them. If you look at the ground under your feet, you see that everything has a certain color. Even your colors are different from each other. See how some plants are small and some big, and how every tree gives fruit that is different in color and taste? Some fruits are sweet, others are bitter. However, a dog will not become a bird, and a bird will not become a dog." Puppies were all silent in admiration of their knowledgeable and informative mother. All the puppies learned to obey their mother, except for Spotty, the white puppy with the spots, who sometimes loved to go beyond the play area that was permitted for them. Whenever he did that, his brothers would call to him and bark at him, all the while he was admiring the birds. One time, while Spotty was watching the birds attentively, Nutty, his hazel-colored brother, came over to him and told him softly,
Mom told us not to go far, so don't think about going far. But I want to play with them. I don't want to hurt them,
said Spotty. Then they heard Brownie calling them from a distance, asking them to come play inside the hollow tree. All the puppies started playing, running into the hollow tree and jumping out of it. Then they fought slightly with each other without hurting one another. They play-fought and ran happily, jumping over small rocks and hiding behind them. However, the curiosity of Spotty led him to go a little further from his brothers. He was unnoticed and went back to watching the birds. He noticed that there were small water ponds in the yard from which the birds would drink. They were unaware that the puppy was watching them and was headed towards them. Some of the birds took flight in fear, but unfortunately, a few were caught off guard and could only hide behind the rocks. The birds were startled to see the puppy because no dog had chased them in their pond before. They were used to peace and quiet, so they flew away in fear and landed on a high tree branch. One of them asked, "Is everyone here? Did anyone get hurt?" "Look over there," said one of them, motioning towards the ground. "It's our friend the lark. The puppy got her." "What shall we do?" said another. "He will definitely kill her. What shall we do?" Then Maggie the magpie said, "He seems to be a young puppy and wants to play, but it'll hurt our friend. Our friend is in trouble. How can we save her?" they all asked.
"I know how,"
a voice was heard saying. "Can you please tell us how we can save her?" they begged her.
"Yes. If you listen to my plan and follow these steps carefully, you'll save your friend," she said.
"Yes, we will. Tell us your plan," they stated. She began by saying,
"Everyone knows dogs love playing, especially fetching a ball. They drop whatever they're doing to play fetch, so we will throw them a ball and occupy them with that."
"But where do we get a ball from, and how can we carry it?" asked some of them.
"It doesn't have to be a ball necessarily. Anything that looks like one will do. Dogs love to run after whatever you throw at them, and when the puppy runs to fetch the toy, our sister can either fly away or we can help her," said Maggie. "Yes, my friend, that's it," said the one with the plan.
"What resembles a ball here?" asked another. "We need to find something quickly."
"What about the pine cones? We can use the light ones that don't have any seeds. We have them stored and we can carry them," suggested Maggie. They looked at each other and nodded their heads in agreement and said, "Yes, yes! Cones are the answer! We have plenty of them! Come on, we don't have much time! Our sister is struggling under the puppy's paws! Hurry up!" said Maggie.
And so, all the birds went to their nests and every one of them grabbed a pine cone and started to fly towards the target. Maggie told them not to drop the cones all at once. Instead, 2 birds should drop their cones, followed by another 2 birds, in order to confuse the puppy so that he doesn't know which way to run, and because he's distracted, forgets all about the lark. And so the attack started, and the first 2 birds dropped their cones near the puppy. Then another pair came after them and dropped their cones further away from the first. The puppy noticed the birds, and his attention was drawn to the cones that the birds were dropping. So he left the lark he was playing with and started jumping towards the birds and running after what they were throwing. He kept running further away to catch the cones because he thought they were playing with him. When the lark saw that the dog had gone away, she started beating her wings to escape before he had returned, but she couldn't fly. Maggie knew that the lark was in shock, so she approached her and said to her, Come on, you can fly! Beat your wings quickly! Hurry up before the puppy realizes our plan! We're trying to distract him from you by occupying him so you can fly away! Come on, you can do it! You'll fly and the puppy won't catch you ever again! The lark knew that her sisters and friends had come to rescue her and that they were risking their lives for her sake. She had to try her hardest to escape the dog. On the 3rd attempt, she left the ground and was flying again, although she couldn't help but tweet in pain. The birds cheered for her and said, Come on, only a little bit left to go. Go to that far branch and he won't be able to reach you. Come on, you can do it. We will see to your wounds, friend, come on. At last, the lark reached the high branch and the birds tweeted loudly, announcing the success of the rescue operation. The rescuing bird heard their call and stopped dropping the cones and flew back to the branch safely. The rescue operation had been a success. It wasn't easy, but all's well that ends well, my friends. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, said the lark gratefully. The puppy was still running after the cones and playing as he usually would, until he heard a loud, angry bark. He knew what that was. He thought to himself, That's my mom. She'll rebuke me and punish me today. I'm late, and I don't know where I am now. The little dog walked in the direction of his mother's barks, but there were also sounds that he hadn't heard before, and he started to feel afraid. So afraid that he began barking out of fear. His barking wasn't heard at first, but it got louder and louder. Then he realized that the sun was starting to go down. He was still barking loudly, but he couldn't hear his mother anymore. He started to realize his big mistake of not listening to his brothers, and most importantly, to his mother's warnings. He now knew that the fun he had playing was not worth a second of the fear of losing his mother and family. He paused briefly and listened carefully and closed his eyes in order to encourage himself to stop the fear that was creeping into his heart. And while he was encouraging himself, he heard the rustling sound of trees. There was someone walking lightly on the tree leaves. He felt that something or someone was coming to get him. What was it? At this point, he started to think about all the enemies he had. His heart started to beat faster and faster. It was beating so loudly that even he could hear it. He knew that he couldn't run from his fear any longer. He jumped a mile when he heard a soft voice from behind him saying, I found you, finally! He couldn't believe his eyes. It was his mother. He ran toward her, licked her, and said, I'm sorry, Mom. I was playing with the birds and running after things they dropped for me, and I didn't realize how late it was. Those are empty pine cones. Let's go home now. We need to have a talk, said his mother in a serious tone. Your brothers are worried about you and crying while you're here playing. This is reckless behavior. Let's go home and comfort your worried brothers and calm you down. I can see the fear on your face. Obviously, you were the one who harmed the birds first. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dropped those cones. You probably scared them, and now you're scared in the same way. They arrived at their dwelling, and his brothers were waiting for him. When they saw that he was well, they started barking happily. They went around him in a circle to check that he was okay. Before Spotty went to sleep, his mother whispered in his ear, "If you scare someone, someone bigger than you will scare you. Always be good and kind, my son. Don't cause harm to anyone, whether intentionally or unintentionally, because you will not be safe every time." The puppy promised his mother that he would act on her advice and that he would not repeat what he had done again, and he wouldn't harm any creature whatsoever. Also, he would not do anything before asking for her permission. The mother smiled and lied down next to her puppies to sleep after a long day. The end.
If you like this story, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye!